Tai Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
I don't care what you say, cause if the world turns, I was gonna learn. This shit go right here, don't play. That boy's from the bottom of the map. In my head, when the booty, she turned around and said, walk this way.
Like snakes and they always hit it. I keep my grass cut low, I'm not getting bitten. Every box in the book's already been written. Puzzle pieces barely fitting. So tell me why you sitting when you should be chasing. Leaving your talents in the basement. You see from first person but you couldn't face it. I'm the likeness in your dark, electric to your spark. Was love without a heart and a finish without a start. But I start to finish. Nobody's perfect, just accept the blemish. Love yourself and love the people, everybody's equal. Hate is poisonous, it's kind of lethal.
I probably won't recognize her.
You guys want to see the whole costume?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. LLPJ is hard as hell.
Tai Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
How's everybody doing? Awesome. A dinner with Steve Ballmer. You guys know who Steve Ballmer is? The Bill Gates business partner, co-founder of Microsoft, one of three, worth $28 billion. And you know, I was talking to him and I realized he's a master of controlling his social circle. In fact, at the end, we were talking and all these people came and wanted to talk to him and he just said, "Tai, I gotta go." And he just shot out the door. And I think it offended some of those people that wanted to talk to him, but I realized this is a guy who's mastered who he surrounds himself with. So at some point in his life, he made a bet that Bill Gates was the right person to hitch his wagon to, so to speak. Joel Salatin used to always tell me, you know, pick wisely who you hitch your wagon to. If the wagon's going up, they're gonna pull you right with them. If it's going down, it pulls you down. And Steve Ballmer ended up almost the wealthiest man in the world. I mean, $28 billion is a serious amount of money. And that's simply because one decision, I'm gonna bet, because they pulled him out of, I think they pulled him out of Harvard. Don't quote me. One of the Ivy League schools, Steve Ballmer, Paul Allen and Bill Gates. Steve Ballmer was a little more conservative. He didn't want to drop out with them. So he's there. And they kept working on him. Come with us, come with us, come with us.
Tai Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
We're Hollywood TV with Tai Lopez. Bro, I'm in your 67 steps.
Yeah.
And I just want everybody to know what you got so they can enroll and thrive.
So 67 steps, basically, I tried to write down about 4 or 5 years ago, I tried to write down everything. I had 5 or 6 mentors in business. Some of them were millionaires, some of them, you know, all smart, super genius people. So they taught me all these principles. So I wrote them all down, and it came out to 300. It took me like 10 whiteboards all over my house.
Telling you, Tai, I really like the way you promoted. The first video I saw was
Here in my garage.
yeah, and it wasn't the Lamborghini.
Right.
It was the way you set it up. I'm like, these guys know something. Right away, that caught my attention, and then I just went and enrolled in the program. It was awesome. And
So it's 300, and so I was like, there, that's it. All I got to do is show people how to memorize 300 things, and they'll have the secrets for success. But once I started testing it, people are like, I can't remember 300 things. So I thought to myself, what's the minimum amount of things I can have people memorize, steps, and just created one step a day, 67 days, a different one.
it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I've had about 140,000 people go through it. I've got 60, 70, 80,000 testimonials. It's a lot.
So I recommend to everybody, every entrepreneur needs to get 67 steps.
Yeah.
Hey, where were you at?
LL Cool J is hard as hell.
What do I want to achieve in my health? What do I want to achieve in the amount of income in the next 12 months? What do I want to achieve in my relationships? What do I want to achieve in my charitable contributions, which he believed a lot in? He believed a lot about earning more so you can live more and give more of your time and money. I know that's why you're here, isn't it? So I wrote down a few goals, very, very few. And then he looked me square in the eye, he was looking down at me. He looked me square in the eye and says, now, if you answer this question the way you should answer this question, I will mentor you. Wow. Up until that time, I'd been in trouble with the law. I was in trouble in school. I left in grade 11. And I don't know who was happier, the teachers or myself. But at this moment, I knew that the question he was about to ask me could be the turning point in my life. You want to know what it was? Yeah. He said, John, are you interested in achieving those goals that you just told me? Or are you committed to achieving them? I said, Mr. Brown, well, that's the difference. He says, son, he said, if you're interested, you'll tell me all the excuses of why you left school at grade 11. You'll tell me all the reasons why you got in trouble with the law. You'll tell me all the reasons, excuses, stories of why you can't achieve these goals. He says, but however, if you tell me you are committed, that means that there is no other option. And I will not work with anybody who isn't committed because I value my life and my time. Oh, this is turning point time, right? Wow. I just met this man about 30, 40 minutes earlier because of my brother. Because my brother was trying to help me save my life, basically. And so I looked up and I said, Mr. Brown, I'm committed. Now, at the time,
Ty Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
Commitment to completion. No stories, no excuses, no reasons why. None of that mattered anymore. And so on June 20th, 1980, I got this certificate saying I had a real estate license. The reason that date and that stretch of 6 weeks is so important in my life was because it started with one question and one answer. And I found a mentor. And on May 20th, 1980, a couple things happened. my life changed because for the first time in many years, I actually took a test in the classroom that I didn't cheat on. And what I didn't know up until then is every time I cheated, every time I stole, every time I lied, every time we brought in an extra kilo or things like that, or breaking and entries, which is what I was involved in, I stripped a piece of my soul. And I didn't know it. But even a bigger thing I learned is I devalued who I was as a human. Because I was not living up to the potential I knew and felt was inside me, but I just didn't know what to do, how to do it. So, 1980, I made $30,000 without lying, without stealing, without screwing anybody out of their money. I gave a little bit of money to charity. Man, I felt so good. And then as I upgraded my knowledge and skills through 1 hour, just 1 hour a day was all my mentor said I had to do to upgrade my knowledge and skills, to train my brain to have the right mindset, the right skill set, and the right behaviors that I would take every single day. 100 phone calls a day, door knocking every day. People I didn't know how to talk with, but I learned how to upgrade my knowledge and skills of what to expect, how to deal with that emotion and say, fuck off, and hang up on you, or slam the door in your face. All of those are skills that you can learn to manage your emotions. We will talk about that in just a little bit. But the point I want to make for you is my second year, by upgrading my knowledge and skills, getting my mindset right, and my skill set right, and my action set right, I made $151,000 as a real estate agent on commission only at 21 years old. Now, I don't want to impress you with the money side of it. I want to impress upon you, as you've heard Tony Robbins use, that phrase so many often, that it's your choices that shape your destiny, right? Your choices, not your resources, your resourcefulness. Your choices will shape your destiny. In any freaking moment, right now, today, you can make a decision, a choice, that you will no longer accept the things in your life that don't inspire you. You will stop, eliminate today anything, anyone that expires you. Done, game over. Emotions that don't help you thrive, release them. Strategies that don't move you towards your life's goals and dreams, let go of them. People who want to hold you down because they feel more comfortable playing it safe, let them go. The only reason they have you in their world is because you make them feel better about themselves. And that's okay. But don't expect them to raise you up if they're not prepared to be here today, to pay the price of discipline, to pay the price of upgrading your knowledge and your skills. And so I'm going to share with you some things that have happened since then. And because I have about 1 hour left, I'm going to share with you the inner game stuff. How many of you would agree? It's the inner game that determines the outer game. Yes? Yeah. So this is, I've been fascinated with why is it, and I had at one point 1,500 salespeople in my company. I had 700 staff in one company. I had another 1,500 employees in another company.
Ty Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
I created the vision of the sell company before I turned 30. That was my childhood dream. The next step, I wrote a letter to myself as if I've already achieved it. Write that down. Letter to myself. It'll make sense in a minute. Literally, write that letter to myself. Here's why. Just like John Assaraf said, we have to create new neural pathways. We need to rewire our brains with repetition. So I wrote a letter to myself. So this letter, it was like, hey, what's going on, brother? I'm so proud of you. And it explained the emotions and the feelings of what it was like to sell a business. So when I went out of the house, had no clue. The how? Raise your hand if you remember what John was talking about, the how. Raise your hand real quick. Raise it up, get it up. Remember what he said about the how? The how will show up. That's not the problem. But to step out in faith, thinking that someone's going to put a little tabletop here for me to walk on, you have to have the faith that the how is going to show up. Or else you just won't get into action, you'll stay stuck. So what happened from there is I wrote the letter So no matter what happened in the marketplace, I would read that thing every single day. And then I took it a step further, I declared it publicly. When you declare it publicly, what do you think happens? Just shout it out. What was that? Accountability, right? When you declare something publicly, you all of a sudden have thousands of people, or hundreds, that you're accountable to. It becomes real. You can't wiggle out. You can't back out. So I declared it publicly. I tattooed the goal on my chest backwards so I could read it. As a result of that, isn't it interesting that the next step, which is resourcing up, things came to me. I ended up seeing about a gazillion emails about this one guy's event. I didn't have the $5,000 to go for it. I was already 50 grand in debt. But you know what? I borrowed the money. When I have clients or people say, like, I just don't have the money, I say bullshit. As an entrepreneur, it's not your resources, it's how resourceful are you willing to get, right? So I ended up getting to the event, ended up meeting a person there, got inspired to get into action, figured out my plan, being a Facebook marketing expert, and sold the company within 2 years before I turned how old? 30. Before I turned 30, right? Okay, I'm gonna blast through this. I sold the company in 2 years. This is another proof point. I'm sharing this to prove a point that anything is possible. And I'm gonna flip this back to a client story and the tangible tips. So, next thing. I sold the company, and I wish I had gone to a Thrive event. I sold the company, but it was just money. It was empty calories. I didn't have love in my life, and I felt really like disappointed. I was like, man, I put all this time and energy focusing on the destination. It's like Alexi and Preston were saying, it's all the journey. And so I get to this point, and I'm like, man, I wish I put love on that level. And so what ended up happening, I said, okay, cool. I'm now going to set my sights on this next area of life. I'm going to focus my energy, my intention on love. I'm going to use the same exact process. This is the 5-step process. So just write down vision. Real quick, write down the letter. Write down declare it. Resource up.
Ty Lopez here on Hollywood TV.
All right. Thank you.
I'm just going to settle and have one of those disgruntled marriages. Heck no. Have the faith and the guts to say, I'm going to have one of those relationships that makes everyone else around them sick. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see those people that are just so nuzzly together, just making the baby noises and stuff? Okay, that's not what I wrote on the letter, but I said, you know what, why not? I don't want to settle. I want to go for, like, love at first sight. A woman that I could never get right now. Like, I want to go as big as I could. So then it comes out to declaring it. So I was on stage in front of 350 people, and I read my letter, and I declared it to 350 people, and people kept coming up to me afterwards and saying, where is she? She sounds amazing. I want to meet her. And I said, no, that's like a letter to myself about believing it. I read this thing every day, and it's going to happen. And I'm like, wait. So she's not here? No, it's just a letter to myself. And then I showed her my tattoo, which is, I didn't tattoo her on my butt or anything. But I declared it. So what do you think happened now that I declared it? From there, I had to resource up. The letter that I wrote, when I looked at it, I said, oh man, the dude sitting in the seat right now, there's no way he's going to get her. Not in this state. So what did I do? I hired a coach. I resourced up. I hired a coach for love. I was one of his toughest cases. I lost a few pounds. Like, I became the dude that could attract her. So what is that for you? When you get clear on your vision and you follow these steps, and you run through this exercise, who do you have to become to get what it is that you want, right? And then the next piece is once you go through those motions, then you have to continually choose faith over what? Fear. You have to choose faith over fear every day because there's going to be things that try and rob those dreams. All right, so last example, real quick. Take it one step further. Oh, before I do that, let's give a hand for my wife, Megan Ann. Love you, baby. Little baby boy on the way. Baby boy. So this right here is another example of faith over fear. Everybody say faith. Faith. So I'm like, all right, man, cool, my legs are on fire. And then 2 weeks ago, I was like, man, but my health really isn't. Every time I do an event, I'll like lose 15 pounds and then I'll gain like 20. And I secretly love Cool Ranch Doritos, and I secretly love IPA beers. So this is me 2 weeks ago. I'm not happy about that picture. I'm Mr. Life on Fire, right? So I made this big post on Facebook, and I follow the same process. Vision. Here's where I'm going to be. Letter to myself. What it's going to feel like. What I'm going to look like. How it's going to impact others. Because this isn't about me. I'm not doing this to be tan. Signing up for a physique contest is not about the tan for me. Or the abs. I'm not doing this so my son, who's not even born yet, can climb on my abs like a jungle gym.